Let us purchase 2 first-class tickets, please, to Dubai.
Dubai.
We need to get to the Dubai Film Festival. We've got a short sub-doc about the plight of the Iraqi people who live in Beverly Hills.
Okay, well, I have one flight left out to Dubai.
A little deeper. Can we go deeper?
Episode 8. Is it 8? Yeah.
It's 8. Yeah.
It's 8.
You know, it's funny. That just made me think of. I've gone through a lot of different interests in music. It's not even like I've lost interest, but I just get bored with shit in my life, and so I change music around a lot. And so, back when I was going to school, like community college,
Yeah.
I was listening to, because I'm doing a lot of like homework and projects and shit where at least for me, I can't listen to metal or rock or anything really with much singing involved because it's distracting for me. Even when I'm writing, it's the same thing. So I was jumping around a whole bunch of shit, and then I ended up
Muzak is where it's at then.
Muzak?
Yeah. I think they spell it like with a fucking like a Q or something. Like the shit you hear in an elevator. They call it Muzak.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
So it's like all your favorite songs. They strip the lyrics and all the vocals away from it.
Oh, interesting.
and then it's just a lamer version of the original
No,
song.
I wouldn't like that, I don't think. No, I listen to like a lot of movie scores, but then I ended up doing, kind of like we were just listening to Tibetan monk music. And I got so into it in terms of like when I'd study.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where like I had to listen to it when I was like doing schoolwork. So when I'd go to school, I'd listen to the music as when I take tests. And you're not allowed to have music on, like headphones. I remember the teacher coming up to me, because I don't know what they assume I'm doing.
They assume like somebody's feeding you answers.
I don't know. Or have like a review on loop in my ear, which that couldn't possibly be helpful.
Yeah.
You know? But and then I remember the teacher coming over to me like, you can't listen to that. I'm like, lady, look. I'm listening, and I showed her my phone. I'm like, this is what I'm listening to. And I pulled the earplug out and turned it up so she could hear it. And she's like, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah, she was cool with it.
I'm wondering if you're sitting there listening to death metal, she would say, "Oh, that's not fine."
I bet you know.
But why not?
I don't know why not.
Because the only reason that they don't want you listening to music is, I would think, because they think your ass is cheating.
Yes, that's what I would think too.
Yeah.
So she saw my music and she just said that's fine. Yeah. So,
Obviously, she's just like, I'm not going to go any further with this. Whatever. I hate my job.
He's a little odd. Yeah, but that's what it was making me think of.
So you were addicted to the monk music.
Yeah, so I was really into the monk music for a long time.
It's the vibrations or something was doing something to you.
It is, but it's also like, I don't know if you've ever listened to like the sounds of nature or something like that.
Stimulating your inner clitoris.
Yeah. It's the same shit. It's basically, Tibetan monk music is basically if you have like the sounds of the rainforest, and then there's a bell, and then a guy humming.
And a guy humming.
Basically what
they just had a bell and some guy humming to nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I like that shit too.
You know what I can't get into? I know our friend Rain does this, and Jamie and I do this whenever we're cooking a food that you can attribute to like, a culture. If I'm drinking Italian, or eating Italian food, or typically cooking Italian food, we put on Italian music.
Do you?
Always. Mexican food, put on Mexican music. Chinese food, gotta say, Chinese music
I'm not
is
listening
not
to that shit.
Great. It's just because we don't look up. I'm not looking like Chinese pop.
That weird fucking guitar you're plucking.
We always try to look up like the what would you call it?
It's not
like
pleasing to the ear.
What would you call traditional? So that's what's like traditional Filipino music. That's basically just like 70s American pop.
Pop music?
Yeah. That's what traditional Filipino music.
Go to any karaoke bar, bam, that's it.
It's so funny. Or R&B. That's what traditional Filipino music is, American R&B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't usually do that. I just listen to I go, Alexa, play relaxing jazz music.
So jazz is your like kind of. Oh, dude! How did she hear us through the wall?
Alexa, stop!
That is crazy, dude.
See, she's fucking. Well, she's
That
been in
means
this
she can
house
hear
for quite a while.
Yeah, I know. But she's a room away.
Yeah, I know. With the door shut.
With the door closed. That's crazy. We're not being very loud.
Alexa's everywhere.
Oh my god, that's such a trip, dude.
It kind of sends shivers down your spine a little bit. You're like, man, these motherfuckers listen to you constantly. But yeah, that's relaxing jazz music is my jam if I'm cooking and stuff like that. Yeah, some John Coltrane, some like he's like the fucking like jazz master.
Does he sing or does he just play like the trumpet or something?
No, he plays. What is fuck? He plays. I think it's mostly. I mean, he sings too, but I think it's mostly saxophone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What to you? And then
jazz.
You're much more musically inclined
sax
than I am,
man, if
and
you will.
play instruments. What instrument is the most jazzy instrument? Is it the saxophone, or could it be the trumpet, or is it the guitar, the drums?
Jazzy.
Which one for you like epitomizes?
I mean, I would have to say in my heart, for some reason, trumpet's sticking out.
Yeah.
So I would have to say trumpet's probably the jazz,
okay.
the quintessential jazz instrument for me, and saxophone, some type of fucking horn.
A horn.
Yeah. Because like a guitar to me is like, I attribute that shit to fucking
blues.
Metal or blues or
that's
whatever
true.
the fuck.
That's true. Okay. In drumming has to be like, I don't know. I do not like jazz, by the way, but
you probably do. I mean, because jazz is such a there's the type of jazz music that just sounds like somebody took a piano and threw it down a flight of stairs. Jazz music, where it's just really intense and all over the fucking place.
That's what I don't like.
It gets the heart rate up.
Well, I guess you say relaxing jazz.
And then there's like the jazz music that's playing like in a dimly lit New York, like coffee bar kind of jazz music. That's the relaxing jazz
I
music
imagine
I'm
I'd
listening
be more
to.
into that.
Yeah.
I mean, my impression of jazz has always been like they just got 6 people and they said, all right, play whatever you want, go. And there's no connection to the music whatsoever.
Yeah.
It drives me insane. I just don't get it.
And that's what the real jazz connoisseurs and shit, and even John Coltrane, if you listen to his music, goes in that direction.
Is it basically they just get a bunch of dudes and they just start riffing off each other and they're not actually coming in with a plan? I
mean, it kind of is that way. I mean, all of them are just fantastic musicians.
Yeah.
And, I think for a musician, maybe you kind of like plateau and you just like hit this like pinnacle of skill where it's just like, we don't care what everybody else wants to hear. We're going to play the most difficult, crazy shit in different time signatures where only like the real musicians and jazz people know what's happening.
Well, that is a niche audience right there.
I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of people listening to this shit, man.
Yeah, but
just when people say it's like you say it's like country music. It's like, oh, I like all music but country, and I hear people say that a lot.
Yeah,
but country is the most loved genre of music in this country. Period.
Well, in this country, I say pop, worldwide pop, but then country probably here.
Yeah. I wonder how popular country music is like in fucking like China or
probably
Japan.
Not. China?
Yeah, who knows?
A couple Chinese cowboys, maybe.
Yeah. You know that shit was real. The motherfuckers are out here too.
Chinese cowboys?
Chinese cowboys, baby.
I'm sure there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
You sure you're not just thinking of Shanghai Noon?
I mean, I could be.
No, but it's interesting. Is like, let's just say you were a top, notch, super, you're the best at whatever instrument you're playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you go into jazz. Yeah. You were basically like, I'm going to make a decent living. Pretty good. But, obviously maybe money is not your driving motivation.
I don't
because
think. Yeah,
you're never going to see a jazz concert selling out an arena.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I an arena maybe not, but
the only people who sell at arenas are comedians, Some rock bands can still do it. Some rock bands can still do that. Yeah. But pop sells arenas.
Any kind of pop, and the most popular, and then you see that like a lot of hip hop and shit now. But there's plenty of rock musicians, that were popular in the 80s and 90s, still fucking selling out arenas and shit like that.
I don't know, man. Like there's
like if you arenas. Like for instance, like the Stones. The Stones is going on a tour in the United States. I just know that because everybody's fucking going to see the Stones. I listen to podcasts. These motherfuckers are going to see the Stones. And they're still selling out arenas, and fucking,
Really?
Keith Richards' colostomy bag falls on the ground. And like, oh, shit.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, everyone knows their music. They've been putting out hits. Well, what's the last hit they put out? But probably 20 years ago. But everybody knows their songs.
Pretty much. Dude.
So I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's also probably because I'm disconnected from the music world because I just listen to really boring shit now. Yeah. But like, maybe if I was still into metal, I'd be like, oh, metal bands are still selling out arenas. Like, are they? Because like when I was a kid, or really when my parents were like in their 20s, that's when the biggest bands in the world were rock bands.
Because when I was growing up, it was all about the new metal. I mean, it was the Korns and the Limp Bizkits and
they sold out the arenas.
Shit. Yeah, that was the popular music of the time. It was that boy bands, Britney Spears and shit like that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I don't know that many are actually doing arenas. I mean, I think some of them are still playing arenas.
Right, small ones, little basketball stadiums.
Yeah,
that's small. Still an arena, right?
High school or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know about now, man.
No, I mean, a lot of what drives, like, I imagine, music into the arenas in terms of the ability to sell out, having the big festivals, multiple festivals, multiple days. How many multi-day metal festivals are there? Like 1.5? And they're overseas.
Well, I don't know. Well, they have like the single... Well,
and that's probably
I heard they're coming back, but now they got Knotfest. So Slipknot's got their own festival. Okay. I know overseas they got a few like the Download Festival and a few of these other big ones, and that's like a single show type of deal.
Yeah,
I know recently they just tried to bring back Lollapalooza,
really,
as a thing. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, and of course we've been stuck in fucking COVIDville for the past 15 years or so, or however fucking long it's been. So I don't know how many of these motherfuckers are doing it now, but when I was younger, man, I mean, I was going to Ozfest. There's a bunch of these festivals.
There were
and shit like that.
Well, now the arenas, it's pop, and the festivals are all EDM. That is where's the youth like trending. Yeah. I wonder if like in 10 or it would be now. I wonder if like 5 years all the festivals are going to be K-pop.
The thing is, I think music's changing. So I think it's basically, just how you kind of look at TV shows. Back in the day, everybody watched the same like 4 fucking shows, because there was like a selection of 10. Yeah. You know what I mean? Music the same way. Now,
that's a good point. The radio determined what you listen to.
It's not like I don't think it's going to be so kind of like pop music so pigeonholed onto a genre.
Yeah.
Just because people listen to everything, and we have access to everything. Whereas before, if I was younger and I was looking for things, I had to get into a vehicle and go to a CD store to peruse, the CDs, and you go up to the little station and scan it and listen to it.
And not only that, but you buy that CD, you know what you do? You listen to it over and over. And granted, you can do that with Spotify, but then you know what you also have? An infinite number of CDs at your fingertip. Whereas before, maybe if you're in your car, you have your fat CD case.
I think music's kind of been bastardized. It's because people don't listen to music the way I think it should be. Like we were talking about, like listening from track 1 all the way to the fucking end of it.
Oh, God.
Listening to it as a whole piece of art, and getting a CD or something and putting it in and then just sitting in a chair
and listening
to it.
Rather than it being just the background noise of
now that's all music's kind of become. It's like, it's just, what do I play when I'm cooking dinner?
No, that's
what do I play when I'm taking a shower?
I wonder if
So now, I'm a metalhead, and I'm listening to fucking smooth jazz, baby, every day.
No, that's it. That's a really good point. Yeah, because I don't remember the last time, other than like tomorrow, I'm going to be going on a 7.5-hour drive to Reno.
Perfect opportunity.
I'm going to be
to listen to some albums from start to finish.
You know what? That's a good idea. Maybe me and Jamie will each pick like 2 albums each, and we have to go through the whole album.
I say don't pick albums that you've already heard.
Well, that's going to be tough.
I think you go out, maybe the two of you try to suss out.
How about if I like know
3 new bands?
Well, you know what I typically do is I'll know like a song from a band.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll pick an album from them, right? Like at least I know I like their
Listen
sound.
to the whole, yeah.
You know?
You like fucking Drake's I'm Too Sexy for My Whatever the Fuck? Fucking listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
It sucks dick. Oh, man. Another thing, like with music, I was talking to my wife, and as far as like music and like singers and musicians, like back in the day, you would have the band and all the musicians, and they would record on a 4-track.
Yeah.
That's 4 tracks. 1 track per instrument, basically. Yeah. And they would play the whole fucking song through, you know?
Yeah.
On the track or on one take. And it's just had such a, a human element, an element of just 4 people playing their instruments together. And the small little inconsistencies and the small little fuck-ups and shit like that. But now it's become, you don't really have to be a good singer anymore.
You just got to try and catch the one.
You can get auto-tune, I mean, you really just need a decent hook.
Yeah.
And as far as the music goes, it's all digital, it's all loops, so
it's like playing the one riff, like play it clean and then
play 3 seconds of guitar and then just loop that shit and then put a drum beat behind it. So now that little guitar riff is the same. Every 4 bars. It's the same repeating guitar riff.
Oh, interesting.
So it doesn't have that kind of like natural human feel that I think a lot of the older music does. There's this, especially with the vocals. I can't stress that enough because just the vocals of older music, it's just all the cracks and just all the part of it. You could really feel the person singing it.
Yeah.
You could feel whatever message they're trying to convey, pain or happiness.
Yeah.
But now it's just not like that anymore.
Everything's manufactured.
Yeah.
To a degree.
I think, what was it? Usher was talking about it when Auto-Tune came out. And he was...
That's fucking crazy. Like, what... They even in shows then, they can just turn the Auto-Tune on for the shows? Same thing?
And they do. I mean, pretty much they Auto-Tune... Even if you can sing, they're going to put a little bit of Auto-Tune on there just to fucking get it right perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they can do it right on the soundboard at the venue.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest. We would never go back to that. I mean, you might get like an unplugged show here or there, which I always thought was fun. I was a huge Bryan Adams fan as a kid, as a little kid.
Oh, yeah?
And, I think it started with I loved Robin Hood so much, that movie.
What's the name? I'm like trying to, name me.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So Bryan Adams, he did Everything I Do for You,
Everything I do it for you.
Yeah. Anyway, so like I loved that movie, so I love that song, and then my mom loved Bryan Adams, so she introduced me to the rest of his music, and I had an unplugged album of his, and I would fucking play that thing over and over and over and over again. And then I went and saw him live. He was not unplugged, and he was ugly. I remember, being like,
why was that something you're looking for?
I don't know. No, I wasn't thinking
it bummed you out. You saw him, and he's like, oh, he's so ugly.
Because
I don't like your music anymore.
It was just like, I was listening to this dude, and I just pictured, I'm like, this dude must be so cool. Because I love the love songs. Since I was a little kid, I loved girls, right? Even though I was too afraid to talk to them or do anything.
Sure.
But like, I love girls, so I love love songs. Because I'm like, he knows how to get his feelings across.
Yeah.
And so...
this guy's getting all the puss.
I didn't know what he looked like, so my first image of him I'm not going to picture a really ugly dude. I'm going to picture like maybe a version of a guy that I wish I could look like.
It ruined all that because you've built all this up around this
man.
and
I saw him live, I'm like, what the
all these
fuck?
visuals and everything like that, and it all came crashing down when you seen his fucking ugly ass on stage.
He was ugly. He was. I was like, I've had that happen many times where like I'll listen to a radio program and then I'll listen for years. And then I just picture if it's a dude and a chick, beautiful woman, beautiful dude.
It kind of bumped, dude.
And then I find out what they look like. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's true. And my mind usually goes to picture more attractive
of course.
people. Because my hypothetical mind people are good looking, okay?
Of
I'm not going
course.
to get a bunch of uggos up there, you know what I mean? And you do kind of get bummed out. Or it's just not what you expected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I listen to podcasts, but I never watch them. And when I do, it kind of fucking like ruins it.
Oh, you see a guest, you're like, that's what they fucking look like?
Yeah, you're
Really?
like, I don't fucking like these people.
Ah.
Like, why is there?
You look better in
I'm
my
like, oh,
head.
they're one of those kind of people. Like, God. You're like, oh, that guy was black. Ew,
Dude, honestly, but we don't just do that with people on the radio or artists, bands. You know, we do that with ourselves and guarantee it.
Yeah,
because I straight up
I do it with myself.
Yeah, because
I go, you know what? I'm a good-looking man. You know, I'm a good-looking man. I'm out in this world, man, just flexing my shit. And then you pass the mirror and you're like, I'm a piece of shit.
Well, dude, it's like, I mean, you got to figure. I tell Jamie, I'm like, Jamie, you see me, you know, infinitely more than I see myself.
Yeah,
like
from all the angles.
I guarantee
she
you,
sees all the angles.
Yes, if we were to go to an FBI,
the profile is not very flattering.
Yeah, when they have to do like the sketch artist to see who the criminal was.
Yeah,
you know, if I guarantee you, if Jamie and I sat down in front of him and we had to describe me
Yeah.
to the FBI sketch artist, Jamie's would be
Interesting.
more realistic than mine. And so because she sees me
sees
more
you
than
more.
I see me.
Sure, absolutely.
And so I guarantee it's how many. This probably happened to everyone.
Yeah.
You see a picture of yourself, you're like, oh, that's a bad picture. It's like, well, you know, that's actually probably just what you look like. And you're just trying to find the best angle to compensate for the way you look, which I do with myself. I mean, everyone does it, right? Or
Yeah.
you see yourself in a video, and it's just a very candid, just there you are. Boom. Ain't no angles. You're just walking in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And
immediately,
you're talking.
or it's like this goddamn podcast.
Yeah.
Listening to your voice.
Yeah, you're like,
and I'm like,
oh,
oh my God.
I sound like an
I'm
idiot.
like, other people hear that
Yeah.
too?
Or when you hear a voicemail of yourself, yeah, or like any sort of recording of your voice,
Yeah.
like that's what people hear
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. It just
I thought I had such a supplely good.
it just
maple
shatters
voice.
the bullshit fucking thing that you've
Yeah.
dreamt up about yourself.
Yeah.
And it starts almost every day anew.
Yeah, no, it's true. You start, you look in the mirror, like, and then maybe you get to your best self, but maybe you look at yourself in a particular way in the mirror,
Yeah.
like I look good. You know, you walk by a car, you know, reflection, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm more muscular than I thought I looked. And then you see yourself at the right angle, you're like, oh, I look sad.
Yeah.
My body looks
I think
sad.
that's how my day goes. It's like I wake up, I feel pretty confident. I go in the bathroom, look at myself naked,
Slightly
get
less
really
confident.
depressed. Then I go start my day, and as I go throughout my day, my confidence
illusion
is
builds.
building. The illusion is building.
Yep.
And then, you know, around 4:30, I'm fucking peak, man. I feel good. My dick's big, everything. And then I get home, go in the bathroom, take a shower, see myself naked,
why are all
right
these
back down to
mirrors
reality.
broken? It's true, man. It's like, you know, when you see yourself in a certain
It was
light.
9 inches this morning. I swear.
Dude, it's
Must
like,
be the weather or
I'll go to some bathrooms and they have that unforgiving, merciless light that just shows
Fluorescent.
every.
You can
why
just
does
see
it
the blood
exist,
running
dude?
through our white skin.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I'm like, dude, I haven't. It's like all my wrinkles in my discoloration of my skin is showing.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you ever make
Dude.
something like this?
I would say the worst place for that shit has got to be Target. This is the most
Those
well-lit
circle
fucking
mirrors?
store.
Yeah.
In
Oh, you're talking about just in general.
just in general, just
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the whole
good
store.
luck looking good in front of one of the clothing
Yeah.
mirrors.
And then you go in, and then you go into their little, and the funny mirrors in their fucking changing rooms and shit with the super bright lighting, and they do not have a pair of pants fucking below size or above size 38 there, just to make you feel like more like a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like for me, I swear to God, I walk by some mirrors. I'm like, this bitch is
Fuck Target.
It's convex, man. It's convex.
This podcast is brought to you by Fuck Target. Walmart's better.
I'm like, man, I'm skinny, but I ain't that skinny. I stand in the mirror, I'm like, where all my muscles go? I like those car windows, you know, make me feel all big,
Yeah, man.
strong.
This car windows.
Dude, you ever? I don't know if you, but like, I would ever. Brandon, the same thing. I'd be like shirtless. I'm at the beach, right?
Yeah.
And I'm walking somewhere, walk by a car, you know, the driver's side window. You're like, Jesus Christ, my muscles are incredible because it just blows you out of proportion like some huge caricature of yourself. And if
it takes you forever to walk through parking lots.
Yeah, I'm just flexing my tricep, and then I walk by a real mirror.
It's like that person's sitting in their car right now. You realize that?
Well, didn't I tell you recently? It was twice in a day. Someone was like, "Oh, Ryan, you're looking skinny," and I was like, That's
only a compliment if you were fat before.
Yeah. I'm like, you realize that's the opposite of what I want.
That's not a compliment, person.
Yeah. And then I heard it twice in the same day. I was like, well,
Are you okay?
Yeah. Are you okay? You don't look well. It's like, I thought I looked fine, but thank you.
That's what I get. It's like I lost a bunch of weight, and everybody's like, what happened? Like there must have been some traumatic event that... Which there kind of was. I mean, sort of. But I just, whatever kind of like hardship you're going through, if you're just entering this like really trying, difficult time in your life, it's time to start losing weight too, because it just makes it easier. Like if you're going through some shit, just the last thing on your mind is food, and if you're trying to lose weight, it's the fucking time, man.
When you're like
it's that little extra push you need.
Super stressed, just. Lean into the stress.
Lean into
it. Don't eat.
And don't eat. Exactly.
This is health advice from professionals. We are professionals.
Hello.
Yeah.
God.
I can't gain weight, and you're losing weight. So we are literally the experts in losing weight and not gaining weight.
We're experts on the whole fucking spectrum of it, bro.
Yes.
So, anyways, and if you don't fucking believe me, then
I do believe you. I really, really quickly just want to go back to the music thing we were talking about, because we were talking about. How, before you'd buy a CD or the radio. I was saying the radio basically had a huge foothold in dictating who became popular, right?
Yeah.
Granted, people could call in and they could request a song, and that's how they know it's popular, and they get to play it over and over again. But it's like, all right, well, how do people know nowadays? It's like, and I found out Spotify, one is the huge one, playlist. Spotify playlists is instrumental apparently for bands nowadays in terms of being discovered
because doesn't Spotify like, and I don't use Spotify, but does Spotify has like you'll have an artist and they'll have their playlist on there, and then they'll have like pre-made playlists.
Yeah, so I mean you could just look up any artist, any of their albums, and listen to all of the songs in it. So it is like their discography.
No, but I mean like an artist, what they listen to, not their music.
Oh no. So when you see like Tom Petty radio or playlist, the playlist is typically just a playlist of probably someone put it together of their best songs. Spotify puts together their own. Or radio, the Spotify radio, it'll be just, or Tom Petty radio, for example. They'll just put a bunch of songs that they think match. Yeah. And sometimes you're like, how did this come together? But the playlists are the big ones. So a lot of times people aren't trying to find something connected to a band. They're just like, oh, I want 2000s hip hop, or I want, today's hits.
Yeah.
Well, what's a hit? The radio? The radio's not used as a hit anymore. Spotify, the listens are hits. And how do they get the listens up? They put them in a playlist. So bands have been fighting to get their, get
their music put onto these playlists.
Because that's what people listen to. They don't so often listen to songs. They listen. It's kind of like what Pandora was, but it allows you to be a little more particular.
It's taking the thought out of it.
It is.
I mean, like I said, slowly, it's just like it's like on Netflix now. Now they basically, you can just click a button and it just plays shit. For you.
Yeah.
Because realistically, and I find this in my own life, is I'll be sitting on the couch spending an hour trying to find something to watch, and I find it's very fucking stressful. And because there's just so much to watch, and I can't figure. And same with dinner. Where do you want to eat? Okay, we got like the same, 15 places that are around us, and that is just a stress in of itself.
You know what I end up doing with Netflix and stuff like that is one of two things. Either one, I'll just go to a comfort zone after 40 minutes of looking around or doing research, because I'm typically in a mood for a type of thing. I'm looking for that type of thing. It's always like medieval something, and there's nothing out there. I've seen it all. So I'll either go to a comfort zone, or I'll start watching something, and then 15 minutes in...
Comfort zone, i.e. just watch something you really like.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I'll start something that might be interesting. 15 minutes in, I'm like, I don't like it. I turn it off. I do that like 4 or 5 times, and then I'm like, well, now I'm going to go to bed, because I've watched 15 minutes of 5 shitty shows, and I'm just going to go to bed now.
That's what I'm saying. It's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
Thinking of it. It's just something I'm trying to do in my life is to just make fucking decisions, man. And I find I really struggle with the small decisions. Like, should I should I get the Sour Patch Kids or should I get the Trolley gummy worms?
Really?
And I'll sit there and just fucking like, somebody help me, just pick it for me, you know? So, and I really, and I don't like that about myself. It's something I want to change.
At least you're recognizing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you address that other than
just
giving
do
yourself a time limit.
Honestly, I gotta think it doesn't fucking matter. You like both of them. Just pick one and walk the fuck out the door. I think what I need to do is stop thinking about these things.
Yeah.
And just like one thing I realized with movies is just, you know, if I was by myself, I would do that. I'd just pick something comfortable and just put it on TV because I just like to have something going on in the background anyways, you know? And I would only watch probably things every now and again. Instead of, because I think now it's just like you're putting on Netflix and it's like, I want to start watching a new show, you know? But
that's always daunting because like you're like, all right, you're watching the first episode, you're like, man, I really don't like this episode very much, but I have to give it a couple more.
And then you just end up watching the first episode of all these fucking series and you never fucking finish anything.
Or you're a person who becomes like, well, now I have to know how it ends. And you're only 3 episodes into this fucking 3-season show, and then you're just watching this turd, which I've gone back and tried to watch. There's a particular show. It's about the Templars. It's so horrible, but I want to love it so much because that's like one of my favorite times in history. I just think it's so interesting.
Knights Templar and all that.
Yeah, and so it was. I believe.
Church.
Who the fuck is it called? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's on Netflix. I'll look it up. It wasn't originally on Netflix. It was on FX, and they put it on Netflix. But so I initially started watching it when it first came out. I'm like, this is not good. So I stopped watching it, and I've gone back now 3 times to try and watch it again. Where I'll watch an episode, and I'll get partway through the next episode, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just clearly don't like this, and I'm trying to make myself like it. And there's nothing else I do that with. Most things, if there's a show I don't like, I stop. I just stop. You know. Movies, I will finish because I know it's finite, you know, more so than a TV show. Because, I'm not going to commit myself to this endless universe of a TV show that might do 10 seasons. But if it's a movie, I'm going to probably finish the movies. Like The Twilight. I finished The Twilight. It's only 4. I just did it. I saw the
4
first
of them?
one. They split the 3rd book into 2. So, yeah, it was 4.
Oh, you mean the book or the movie?
I never read the books, but I just know there's 3 books. They split into 4 movies. So I watched the first one. I took my mom to see the first one.
Dude,
now I got to know how it ends.
Talk about. We went to go see Twilight 2, I think, in the theater. Me and Chantel, and we went in there. We sat down for about a half hour, and she looks over at me and goes, "Do you want to go?" So we fucking left.
Good for you. Good for you.
Because we watched the first Twilight came out and everybody was like, fucking, this is fucking, and I was the person who was just like, fuck you and your gay ass fucking vampires. Whatever, I know I can't say that anymore, sorry. But I was just like, fuck that shit. And then we ended up watching the first movie and we kind of liked it.
Yeah.
So we were like, who are you? Are you fucking Team Edward or fucking Team
Jacob?
Jacob.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
saw it.
You did watch all 4 of them. And then we ended up liking it. Then we seen the fucking, like I said, we go to the theater and we're just like, nah, fuck that shit. So yeah, I gave up right in the middle. How many movies have you walked out of in the theater?
1. Ice Age 2. It was because Queen Latifah, I loved Ice Age 1. I don't know if you've
Queen Latifah fucked it up for
Queen Latifah came in and she was so over the top outrageous. Like her, again, it was just a voice, right? But she was so much that it was, I walked out. It's the only time I've ever done that. I've fallen asleep in movies purposefully because it was like giving me a headache. I think it was like the last Bourne movie or one of the last Bourne movies. I was sitting in the front row and it was just big jump on the jumpy camera and moving around and shit. And I went to sleep to like save my brain. But yeah, that's it. Why you
Queen Latifah? Huh?
I don't have a problem with Queen Latifah.
You're afraid of a strong black woman or something?
Well, she was like a lemur or something in the movie, so I have no idea what the fuck I wasn't even sure it was Queen Latifah. She was just super annoying.
Yeah.
You know who's like, to me, one of the most annoying people who is Awkwafina?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Dude.
You don't like Awkwafina?
I want to. Like, she was fine in Crazy Rich Asians, but because she was a very side character.
Yeah.
She was in it, but she wasn't in it.
Yeah.
You know? But then there was the Disney movie, What was the Disney one with like the dragon and
Shang-Chi?
No, that is Shang-Chi.
Had a dragon.
Actually.
It was
Shang-Chi. No, it was the animated one.
Oh,
also has Awkwafina, by the way.
Raya.
One of those.
One of those.
That's funny. Also has Awkwafina in it. Yeah. But I don't know if you felt this way, but in Shang-Chi, Awkwafina toned it down a little bit. She toned that shit down a little bit. Whereas in like Raya, she was like balls to the wall. Just like this. And honestly, I liked that movie, by the way, but she almost ruined it for me. Where when they gave her too much time, I would look at Jamie. I'm like, oh my god, she won't stop talking.
I gotta say, I think it was a little apprehensive. First, I heard Awkwafina, and I thought Awkwafina was like an artist, like a musical artist.
I assumed that she was an artist.
And then I was just kind of like, and then it just caught up in the name. I'm like, Awkwafina. I'm like, I kind of like it. Kind of like that. Is there something about that? Is it an awkward water bottle? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then then I saw her in a couple things. I'm like, you know what? And I thought, I'm like, is the voice thing? Is that a shtick? Is that a thing?
No, that's what she sounds like.
And then then I realized that's just
right
kind of
on
what
her throat as a baby.
She fucking sounds like that. Like she smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a
2.
cigarette smoke because it's not deep. It's more like super nasally. It's she talks
in
the back of her throat.
Know. But I fucking love Awkwafina.
That's cool.
I say
a lot of people do.
Disney
loves her. They're putting her in fucking everything.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah. She was. She's like. Which, like you said, with Shang-Chi, kind of toned it down.
She really did.
But I felt like. I felt in that movie like she did a good job as an actress. She did a good job, and I think she offered that little teeny bit of comic relief.
Of course,
that we all. That movie was great because even the main character, which was in the Kim's Convenience.
Okay, you're the other person who apparently seen that because I was like I. All right, no, just keep going.
Yeah, but it was that the whole movie seemed like it. I liked it because all the characters were very likable.
Yes.
And they were kind of funny, and there was, you know what I mean?
Well, it was very light. I mean, it wasn't, but it was. Like, they had, dark elements, but it was...
That's what I'm looking for these days. I just need light shit.
Oh, yeah, from Disney. You know what I was wondering, too, when I saw that movie? I'm like... Because I had no idea who he was. You said Kim's Convenience or whatever. I'd never seen him in anything. He didn't become familiar, or wasn't familiar to me. I'm like, with him... Is this just show that they can teach someone kung fu in like 6 weeks and make it look very believable, or because they have people like Tony Zhao, I think is his name, from Ong Bak. It's like the big Muay Thai type fighting.
He is a
that's what he does, martial artist, and they put him in a movie. So that guy, I'm like, well, he can act pretty well. Ip Man cannot act. Okay, he cannot. Whoever the main guy is, he sucks
almost
at acting.
to a point where they use his ability, his inability to act as a part of the character.
Yes, yeah. So it was very clear. I'm like, okay, clearly this guy's a martial artist who they stuck in a movie.
He was great as a blind guy in the fucking the Rogue Squadron. Rogue.
Oh yeah,
whatever the fuck.
Yes,
Star Wars
Rogue
thing.
One. Yeah. But then, so like this guy Shang-Chi, I'm like, okay, well he can act. So does he just happen to know both, or is it clearly easier just to find a guy who can act and then teach him enough kung fu to be very believable?
So apparently he was a martial artist, and he did I think some stunts and something before.
Okay, so he's not a complete novice. He came with some know-how.
But I mean, I think I ended up watching because they have like the making of that, and they were talking about that, and I think he did do a lot of his own stunts in the Shang-Chi movie too. But he was just saying. He was kind of like, I guess he was just like, man, this is crazy. I was such a fan of the Marvel shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, there's much more, better martial artists, better stunt people, better,
no, but it just shows like
better looking Asian actors than me. I was just surprised that it, he was kind of like,
well,
taken aback
that is
happened.
tough because like, Disney's looking at it and they're like, all right, we got to have someone who is a believable, martial artist. But who can act? Because this character is going to be woven into our next storyline.
Yeah.
And so, that's obviously they found the perfect combo with him where they can do both. Okay, I got to go to the bathroom. So carry the show.
Okay, I will carry it on.
I got to take a poopy.
So about that. Going to the bathroom. I feel like lately I have to go pee constantly. And it's like almost like 25 times a day. And at work... I gotta pee in a fucking bottle Like, I'm serious. Like 6 times every fucking day into a bottle. So I pee in the bottle, shut the doors behind me, and then pour the bottle of pee into the fucking grass. And that's been my life recently. I don't know if it's kidney stones or anything like that. But, maybe if you write us here at Lost Us Will and let me know if that might be, maybe that's a kidney issues or something like that. Or maybe it's just the time of year. But lately, gotta pee all the fucking time. And I'm sure as soon as Ryan comes back here in about 5 minutes after I drink my cup of coffee, I'm going to be right there with him. So, moral of the story is, eat right, drink right, and hopefully you won't get kidney stones. Let me hit this bowl right quick. Oh yeah, baby. This podcast is brought to you by California marijuana, motherfuckers. This shit's called clown cones. That's what they named the weed. Okay? That shit's 24% THC, folks. So if you're out there in the streets, go out and get some clown cones marijuana.
What are you talking about?
Brought to you by Clown Cones. No, I was just talking because you said you had to go pee, and I've had to go piss lately, like a lot more than usual, and I think something's wrong. I think
We've had a lot of organ issues recently, so your organs have been trying to escape your body through your asshole and through a hole in your stomach. So
I don't know because I drink a lot of coffee and I take that kratom shit like every day. So
cold coffee will do it to
dude, and I'm like I said, I'm pissing in water bottles literally like 6 times a day. It's crazy. Like, and I'm way too comfortable pissing in the water bottles,
which means partially urinating on your pants.
Yeah, and now it's like because I think I don't know, it's like 16.9 ounces in the standard water bottle or whatever. I'm filling the motherfucker up, and it's not enough.
That's crazy because like unless you're drinking a shitload of water, I mean, I'm surprised you're not just pissing blood. How's there enough water?
That's what I'm saying, and I'm worried I'm gonna have like some kidney stones or some shit. Or
maybe.
Dude, when we drove up to Pismo Beach. So we drove from Pismo to Santa Barbara. I pissed before I left. And by the time, I was in the car, she had to pull over because I was going to piss myself. And it was that intense.
It's the coffee, dude. It's coffee. Like, so when I go on a road trip, like I was going and driving up to NorCal a lot, remember, to work back when COVID first started because it's the only place I could find work. And obviously I would drink a shitload of coffee before I left because I just get tired when I drive. And the drive from here to San Francisco, from LA to San Francisco is, it's nothing, And so and I don't feel like pulling over to a gas station because every 15 miles there's a turnoff to, desolate farmland. Yeah. So I just pull off and just piss on the side of the road because I'm not going to take the time to go to a gas station. It takes me no time at all. Most other drives, like if you drive to like what I'm doing the next time, the Reno and Henderson drives, they don't have that. They don't have these random turnoffs into just farmland. Yeah. Again, that shit in Vegas. But yeah, I would pee 4 or 5 times on the way up there.
Have you ever peed while you're driving into a bottle?
No.
Me neither. I don't know if I could do it.
I don't think I need to. I guess I just haven't been in the situation.
You're the guy that you'd be like, you'd piss yourself and you would talk about pissing yourself a lot.
Yeah, but that's... Just had no choice. I've been on rooftops before and like urinated just a little bit just to let the... What? I'm not going to tell you about that.
You're just in the attic and I'm just gonna piss a little bit in the insulation. Ain't nobody gonna know about it.
Well, the alternative is my dick exploding. And by the way, I did not go pee. I went pee.
You hear that? And if you're judging us, folks, his dick was gonna explode. You just want him to sit there with an exploded dick all over the place?
Seriously.
That's gonna make more of a mess than urine. It's exploded dick.
I need to give you some shit, Kyle. Your toilet paper is horrendous. And that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. You need it.
Is it bad?
It is so cheap.
So look,
it's almost transparent.
Let me just say this. Okay, so Chantal called me today and said that we're out of toilet paper. Can I get some toilet paper? And then I was like, you know what? I'm really busy, as you know.
Would you buy from 7-Eleven's discount bin?
And she got toilet paper, but I think she might have got it from fucking Sprouts or something, which is not where you go to get toilet paper.
No, because they're gonna have one kind. It's probably vegan.
I'm sure that's
made from like avocado skin or something.
It says vegan on it.
Because like it's, I was like, however much I pulled off, I doubled it up because like, this ain't gonna be good.
It'd be like, why is that toilet? What do you mean it's vegan? It's like, well, usually they, the colored part of like the eye. Well, they sucked out of a baby seal's eye with a syringe and put that in your toilet paper.
Dude. I use, I don't know if you know what a tabo is.
Tabo?
Tabo? No, not Tabo. Tabo. It's a Filipino thing for cleaning your ass after you go to the bathroom.
It's a stick?
No, that'd be probably more useful. It's just a bucket, a very small bucket. Imagine like a
shit bucket.
A deep cereal bowl with a handle on it. And now, granted, this is in all the bathrooms.
Shit bowl.
You don't shit in it. There is a toilet. So there is a toilet.
What do you do with the bowl?
Okay, so this is where I'm getting at. You walk into a bathroom, right? You poop. You know this has something to do with post-pooping. Okay? There's no instructions on it. Okay? It's just sitting there near you, in between you and the sink. In every Filipino household. Not every, maybe, but at least the ones that I've been associated with.
Are you going to ask me what we do with this?
I'm asking you, like, if you were to grab, and I'm not, and I've tried and failed, by the way, I believe, horribly, so I'm not an expert here, but if you were to grab that post shit, what do you think you do with it?
So, I would assume you fill it up with water, and you get it in your hand, and you just kind of squat over, and then just kind of like splash the water up in your asshole, and then just kind of, with your hands, and then the water.
Is that gross to you? Would that be gross to you? Do you think that's better than not doing that?
I mean, I'd prefer to just use like wet wipes or something.
Well, all right, no wet wipes though.
Okay, then toilet paper's fine.
Well, okay, so I got so again, I've been seeing this for years, right? Okay. Years sitting there. So the other day,
I wouldn't want to touch it either because it's the shit bowl.
It is, as long as there's but sort of.
What do you do with the bowl?
Okay, so this is what I was told what you do, but then even amongst Jamie and her family, it was a little mixed messaging. Okay, so again, me coming in unaware of how to use this thing, right?
I feel like that's not something you want mixed messages on.
So I filled it up with water as I was sitting there, and then I bring this, and it's a relatively decent amount of water. Again, a big cereal bowl, but like deeper than wide. Okay, and it's full of water, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking down. I'm like, well, that's my dick and balls, so I can't go that way. And I'm like, I guess behind me, where I can't see, where I'm right near the back of the seat. And I'm like, how's this going to go? So I just scoot up onto the seat to where now I'm smushing my balls a little bit, and then I just start pouring it down my back, hoping that maybe the water, like in Jurassic Park, when he was talking about water going down the lines of your hands, that it would just find a crease.
So obviously,
it's
a handheld bidet, if you will.
Yeah, but completely ineffective. Maybe it's because I have zero ass. I just have a back.
Well,
and so I poured it down my back, and it just shot. It was like a slip and slide. It went straight off my back. There's got
to be some type of skill involved,
I guess. And then I'm like, am I supposed to like do it from the front? And I tried that for about a half a second. I'm like, this isn't possible.
Yeah, this isn't wow.
There's a roadblock. And then I was like, are you supposed to put your hands in there and just start splashing your butthole? So that's what I did.
That's what I proposed.
What I did.
I proposed.
And then and then I was like, so what do I do now?
So do you wipe a little first, then get a little...
I did wipe first, and that's when I was like, this is going to be impossible to do with toilet paper. I might as well try the tabo. And then my butt was so wet that when I went to wipe with the toilet paper, it basically disintegrated in my hand. And I'm like, this is not effective.
You got to kind of sit there and just kind of shake it out a little bit.
Yeah, it was not intuitive, is where I was getting at. Like, it wasn't like toilet paper, you can figure it out, right? The tabo, I was like, there's only so many ways to do this, and none of them were effective in the way that I went about it, at least. Unless you're literally just supposed to scrub your asshole with your hand and just rinse your fingers off.
I would say, that's got to be
that's the next thing I'm doing.
Let's just be honest. you're gonna get cleaner that way.
100%.
You're just gonna fucking pitter splash fucking water on your butthole.
That ain't gonna do
It's
nothing.
not gonna get the chunks,
No,
bro.
and
It's not
especially
gonna
if
get
you're
the
like
big
us.
chunks.
I don't know what your ass looks like, but mine,
looks bad.
I'm pretty sure it looks like the
It's
top
discolored
of your head.
and it's not good.
It's just I have like a forest of hairs, keeping, it's a lot of extra cleanage. And I know, where was I? This was
Sometimes I just get mad and I just rip the hairs off my fucking asshole.
Yeah. Good way to teach yourself a lesson.
I'm like, you're just such a piece of shit.
I mean, it is nasty, dude, because you got to figure, like, when we're wiping our butts, like, we're not really cleaning it. Like, unless you rock the wet wipe route and you get in there maybe a knuckle deep and you spin around.
Well, that's why people get the fucking attachment deal. Apparently that's where it's at, bro.
What, the bidet?
Yeah.
Dude, Jamie's sister and brother-in-law just got it, and they said it's incredible.
I bet it's incredible.
Have you
wonder,
ever been on
can
one?
you get like a temperature? No.
You can. But you need
I've
you need a
used
hot water
bidet.
line.
I used a bidet before.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like a
Bidet.
but like a not the attachment, like an actual fucking bidet.
Oh, I don't know if I've done that.
Where it's actually like a separate
Oh, I've
bowl.
seen that. I never knew what it was growing up. I've been to a couple places where I saw that. I'm like, what the hell is that for?
Like,
kids?
why is there a second
like kids toilet?
It's a water fountain.
Because it's so tiny.
No, because when I was doing construction back in Florida, building these $1 million homes.
That is just a whole crew of swamp ass people right there.
Dude, and that's why these motherfuckers be
Makes
getting
sense.
bidets and shit.
Makes
And
sense.
I use it, and I was the first one to use that goddamn bidet in that fucking $1 million home.
You probably got a bunch of
Bitch.
homophobes who are afraid that they're going to be gay if they squirt water up their butt.
I'm sure that's, like, no, bro, water doesn't touch my ass. I'm not gay, bro. Those people are out there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, wait till you try it.
Yeah.
You're going to sit there for 20 minutes.
They just sit there, just lying. It's like, I don't shit, bro. Nothing comes in or out of that motherfucker, bro.
That is the thing. Whenever you look at someone, no matter how pretty, no matter how ugly, you're like, you also diarrhea sometimes.
Honestly, yeah. If you see the most beautiful man, most beautiful woman that you've ever seen, and you're just completely just enamored by their beauty, next just picture their butthole.
Yeah.
And a big old steamy piece of shit.
Yeah, they
out of
also
it.
diarrhea.
Yeah. And then immediately you look at that person different.
Yeah, and they also wipe 10 times, and on the 11th time, see more and just give up. Just like we all do. It's okay. We're all in the same boat. You do it too. There's no way that every time you have ever wiped, your last wipe was completely clean.
You're all walking around with shit stuck to your asses as we speak. You're sitting with the shit on your ass, and you've probably missed it. You've probably missed plenty of times.
Yeah.
Or the big old splotch of shit that you missed, and it just got smushed into your pants or something, and you probably still wear those pants. Yeah. And you probably never cleaned those pants that well anyways.
What was I doing the other day? I did something. Jamie sometimes, I'll just, I squatted. I think I just squatted. Or I was with people. I'm like, I need to go home and take a shower. Like, why? I'm like, because I can smell my ass. And I'm not putting my head anywhere near my ass, but I can smell my ass. Which the only way that's possible is by poor wiping. Yeah. I imagine.
Dude, shit happens. And if you mix poor fucking wiping on a hot day, bro.
You know what?
That's a
you know
whole
what a
nother
fart
beast.
is? Just an ass whistle. I dare you to put some sort of cloth, something like a toilet paper in front of your mouth. Whistle. Mm-hmm. Guarantee you, there's some water on there. A little spit. That's what your butt does every time you fart.
And bro,
it just spits.
Let's be real, okay? For 1 second.
Are we not?
Let's get even realer.
Okay.
Let's get so real you can't even handle it. No. If you take your hand and you think your ass smells so bad, just breathe into your hand.
No.
And smell it.
I got something way better for you.
Shit smells like shit.
No, I got something way better for you. Better for you.
What? Floss your teeth?
No, we're going to get there. No. If you want to know how your breath smells, don't breathe in your hand. Lick your finger. Or better yet, just rub your gums with your finger and smell your finger. That's what your breath smells like. And you know what it smells like? Poop.
Poop.
Yeah.
In your mouth.
Yeah. And you know what? I was just talking to someone about this recently, and I was talking about Jamie. So Jamie has a water pick, which I'd never used before, because I was like, how's that shit work? What a mess.
Yeah.
It's not. Like, It's fine. You just put your face over
Seems
the
like
sink.
some. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
just let
fine.
it drip back down.
It's pretty intense. And I still bleed. I bleed like every third time I do it.
The water pick makes you bleed?
That's how it comes out. And they put heads on those things. There's options that are so the water jet is so fine. It basically tells you to run it at very low pressure because it will cut your gums. That's how strong these things are.
It's like a little pressure washer.
Yeah, I know it is. And so, but I'm doing it, and I'm doing this shit every day. Okay, every day I'm doing
respect,
this. And
bro.
I Listerine.
Mad respect, bro.
And I brush my teeth, and still I'll be hanging over that sink, and I'm water picking my in between my teeth, and I'm like, that smells like poop. How does it still smell like poop? I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah.
And nothing's worse than actually flossing.
I mean, it could be
smelling
some
the
type of
floss.
medical thing. Maybe you got a medical problem or something.
No.
Dry mouth, perhaps.
No.
Yeah, it was
Properly
moist.
moist.
It was a little dry. He lied to you.
But dude, I know, but I met two people recently who I was talking about. They're like, oh, it smells? It's like, what do you mean, does it smell? It's like, haven't you ever flossed?
Fuck that
and
person.
Smelled your floss?
I'm sick of these fucking people that acting like you don't fucking know what we're talking about.
Kyle, it's a lack of curiosity. It's just ignorance.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, when you floss, you've never smelled the floss? No. Should I? Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I know what it's going to smell like. Poop.
Yeah, and if not for curiosity, then what are we, man?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Aren't you a curious person? Don't you ask questions?
Yeah.
You sheep?
You
Smell your
sheep!
poop floss.
You sheeple!
No, I'm dead serious. If you out there have not smelled your floss, I have a tendency to smell everything because
The thing is when I think anybody that's flossed their teeth, if you may not floss a lot, right, and say you haven't really flossed in years
or ever,
and then you do it. When that first time you do it, you catch a whiff of it.
You're gonna bleed.
And you're gonna catch a whiff of that shit.
Yeah,
and you're gonna be like, ew, and honestly, that's just gonna motivate you to floss even more.
Yeah,
because you're like, I don't want my fucking face to smell like shit, like human shit.
There's an incredible amount of health complications that derive from basically gum disease.
Alzheimer's and shit
like a freeway to your heart.
is fucking linked to gum disease and all types.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, all types. It's in your head.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, so if you're out there, smell your floss and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Instagram it to the thing that we don't look at.
Tell me right now.
Come on, tell me. Or better yet,
Do it!
put it on our Facebook page where we also don't check in because nobody writes anything.
Yeah, because nobody writes anything.
Oh, I actually meant to do this earlier. We're not done yet, but I meant to do this earlier. It's
Let's
share this shit with people you care about and the people you don't care about.
Yeah.
Because it'll send mixed signals both ways. The people you care about will be confused as to why you'd send them such...
Yeah, and if you think somebody will hate this show, share it with them.
Yeah, dude. It covers all the bases.
Yeah, if you don't like it, let them fucking listen to it. If maybe you do like them.
Hey, if you got a really conservative friend, we'll make sure to do a podcast that's very offensive. In pride.
Yeah.
We had the baby killing hobo one.
The Republican baby killing.
Yeah, we had that one.
Yes.
Talked
about killing Republican babies. But we'll kill all the different kinds of babies.
I'll kill
here.
the liberal hobos.
babies, little Biden babies.
Yeah,
fuck
dead.
it. We'll kill them.
Yeah, so share this with people.
Both sides.
So that we can finally take our $10 out of our account and
which by the way, I think we might be hitting $3 here pretty soon, folks. Dude! I'm thinking if we do another 24, 25 podcasts, we might get up to $3.
That's like June, right? So I'll put it in the calendar. Next June, we can go get a couple things.
I think for like $3 you could buy a sunflower seed.
That's fair. And that'll last you all day.
It is. All day.
Yeah. If you think about it, all day.
Yeah, man. All you need to eat is one of these, man. Man. Well, did you drink the rest of the coffee? I think it's time. I need to get it.
No, go by all means. Go get yourself some coffee. Go get yourself some coffee. Well, while he's off getting coffee, I might as well continue down the route of other bathroom adventures. Also along the same lines as the mouth health deodorant. What do you use? Do you use antiperspirant? I've been using antiperspirant forever, but then I found out, I'm like, you know what? I don't really sweat. I don't know, in the last podcast, we were bitching about it before, he was to me, and I was saying how I don't really sweat. He didn't believe me, but it's just true. I'm not a sweaty person. But that's what we use antiperspirant for. So I was like, fuck it, what do I need this for? I also use deodorant. And many times in my life, I've been in a situation where I could not share, or I didn't have deodorant, and so I asked to borrow. And the response is either, yeah, sure, or, ew. It's never like, oh, okay, I guess so. It's basically like, it's the ultimate, it's totally fine, because who gives a shit, or that's definitely gross, don't know.
Listen to me! I think that I'm that person. I'm kind of in the middle, because when you initially ask that question, I think like a part of me has to like take like a second and go, am I a person that cares about that?
Are you only thinking that because you're indecisive and now you're trying to just...
See? I mean,
this is just your
very
indecisiveness.
indecisive. So,
well, where's your gut tell you? If I was like, hey, can I borrow some deodorant?
Oh, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Which I don't judge you either way. I judge you a little bit if you're the one who's grossed out by it. I just don't.
To me, it's just like me not doing it is almost just like, am I like armpit somehow like any fucking cleaner than yours? Unless you're like you, which are a special case because you don't sweat like every other human being. I can understand
like after you ran a marathon and you're dripping with sweat, maybe you don't want. You're like, dude, just towel off or something. But like if you're just like now, I would not think twice about sharing deodorant.
I mean, first I'd be like, dude, you don't have to, man. Like, are you doing something after this?
That's true. That's true. No, I've had friends who were disgusted by me asking to use their deodorant or using it without asking because I didn't think anything of it. Also, those same people are the ones.
Well, I get that.
Yeah,
I think you should ask. I think if you just went in there and used my deodorant, and like I saw you, but didn't say anything to you later on, it'd be like I'd tell my wife and just be like. I saw Ryan earlier, and he just went in there and used my deodorant.
Well, let me ask you this: if I was to take a shower and use your loofah, how would you feel?
I would hate you.
Really?
Do not fuck. It bothers me because when I was,
wow, you got serious.
I'm serious. When I was at Troy's house, I was always like, I'm like, are these motherfuckers using my loofah? I sit there and feel my loofah. I'm like, is that dry? I'm like, I swear, because I didn't fucking shower. Is that wet? Did somebody use this shit? And I wouldn't have the balls to ask any of them. Yeah, so I'll ask you right now. Situation. Did you use my fucking loofah when I was there?
Is it a special loofah?
Anyways, no, it was a regular ass loofah. I just don't want, because I'm just imagining somebody taking that loofah and just dragging it across their asshole. Yeah, and I'm going to take that and no, I don't like that.
But they're going to wash it. It's clean, though.
No, look, if deodorant's one thing, because it's a swab, it's always in the same area. But if I said yes and you took my deodorant and started putting it in your crotch, I would never let you use my deodorant again. So,
yes, that's gross.
Yeah, so the loofah, no. No. What are you, crazy?
I don't know. There's soap on it. It's clean. It's as if it's basically.
Look, I see your logic.
Would you ever wear someone's underwear?
Yeah, but the thing is to me, no, I don't really like wearing other people's underwear.
I mean, ideal. It's not ideal, but
no. If I have a fucking choice and I get to have a feeling, my feeling is I don't like it.
Okay.
So
just go commando. I don't like going commando.
So when I left the room just for a second, did it make you feel uncomfortable, a little anxiety? Like did it initially when you're like, okay, I'm here by myself? I'm a little scared now.
No.
Did that happen at all?
I think so.
Because when you left, I felt real scared. And I started talking real loud and shit.
Well, I heard the last podcast when I left you alone for like 20 seconds. I was getting coffee. You basically started telling about your day. Which is interesting.
Oh, yeah, I just, dude, I fucking went, I was just like, oh, no.
They know everything about you, and they're going to judge everything about you.
People are judging us. We don't even realize it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You know what? I say pat our backs, okay? We're out here being vulnerables, okay?
We are being vulnerables.
So,
you know what? Do this. In our Instagram or our Facebook, which no one writes to, so we never check. I want you to write if you've never met us in your life, which most of you have probably only met one of us, write down, judge us really hard.
Why'd you point at me? Because they ain't fucking.
Because more people know me than you that listen to this, I would think. Because I actually actively share with people, Kyle, and you don't fucking share with anybody.
What? I
Who do
share
you share
with
this
people,
with?
bro. Wanna Francine?
Okay, good.
Okay, she listened to an episode.
Well, that's
okay?
good.
Got people at work
Hey,
listen to it.
do they?
Yeah, fucking like 3 people.
Hey,
maybe.
that's pretty cool.
Okay. And considering we have 11 listeners, I mean, what the fuck you bitching
All
about?
right, I'm sorry.
Dude, that's like fucking, 36% or something.
That's true. All right, but if you're out there, I want you to, and don't be worried about being mean because we can take meanness.
What are you saying?
I want people to say.
I can't take meanness.
Okay.
Look, I'm going through enough bullshit in my fucking life, and you can judge me by saying that too. I don't fucking care.
Judge us really hard. I want you to give your.
I don't want to.
If you had,
You better be nice.
Right.
You better be nice if I see
Describe
you in
us-
real life.
Describe
I'll
us in a
fucking-
sentence, in the most
Oh, no.
unpleasant of ways.
Oh no.
yeah.
No.
No one's gonna do it.
You know what, motherfuckers?
Actually,
if
do
you're
it.
gonna show up to Ryan's wedding, I'm gonna see you then.
That's true.
I'm gonna see you then.
Yeah, you could write a review about the podcast and say something really cruel and judgmental in there. That we
Catch
think
me
that
outside.
was Cash me outside. Mm-hmm. Cash me outside.
Why'd you say it like that?
Isn't that the cash me outside chick?
Is that? Does
She's
she
like
say
that.
it like that?
She's a millionaire now.
Yeah, good for her, man.
Fucking
I
crazy.
think she's
dude.
doing rap music.
Yeah.
I think I listened to it. I think it's not like the worst.
No, but it's not good. But all you need is a
Maybe
beat.
it's good to somebody, man.
If you just get
You get a
beat,
good beat, yeah.
yeah. But how much of it is that people like it versus they're just curious to see? It's like the train wreck. They're like, oh, I gotta cash me some of this.
The thing is that is a catapult point.
yes, not
You know?
sustainable unless it's good.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know.
So if that shit's good, then
And she always got a TV show.
well, she got a TV show.
Yeah,
She was a little fucking piece of shit.
yeah.
A little fucking cunt. Fucking. I'm fucking Maury Povich or what is it?
No, that was
Dr. Phil. Or whatever
Dr.
the fuck,
Phil.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Phil. I never really watched it that much, but
Fuck you, Dr. Phil.
no, he's funny, man. He
Yeah, I
just.
think-
Why would anyone go on that show? He just like, dude, straight up. There's been people on that show where it's like the mom and the husband, and she's pretty sure has molested their daughter,
Dude,
And I'm
let me-
like, dude, what are you doing on this
Bro, that show,
bro?
So
you're gonna go to
I'll be at
jail.
customers' houses and shit, installing their TV. I'll get caught the fuck up watching Dr. Phil, bro.
Yeah.
The stories they have on that, in their fucking commercial breaks, they hook me in every fucking time, dude.
Well,
and
I'm
you're
like-
right. The stories are nuts.
But why would you go on that show? Some of these people, I'm like, I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations is not passed, and you are definitely still liable for the crime
Yeah.
that your wife right next to you is saying you're committing. And then they're going to do a lie detector test, which obviously is not doesn't hold up in a court of law. But I mean, maybe it's enough for someone to open an investigation.
Yeah.
All it
Oh, they
takes
can
is
just
one.
tell the jury, be like, disregard that whole thing you've already seen.
Oh, that's so funny.
Does that really fucking work?
That is what they do.
Yeah, but I mean,
But how the fuck do you do that?
how do you do that?
Don't think about this really
Yeah.
damning evidence that was just provided because it is not.
And like, here's a video of him stabbing her right there. But because of this, camera came from so and so, we can't use it in court.
Yeah,
Just
so ignore
disregard
that.
Everything you just saw.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude.
Jamie just got jury duty. Yep.
Where's she going? Van Nuys
San Fernando.
or San Fernando? Yeah.
You ever been in jury duty?
Yes, sir.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you even get questioned? Did you get in the jury
No,
box?
I sat in the San Fernando fucking courthouse or whatever, and you go. It's all underground. Well, it's the bottom floor, which is underground.
Yeah.
And there's no fucking service in there. I read about every goddamn magazine they had in there. And I was in there for 3 days, and
Whoa!
nobody ever talked to me.
That's crazy.
And it was apparently it was odd. we shouldn't have been there for
No,
3
because
days.
they normally get the
Because
jury
they came
by
out
the
and
first,
would apologize.
most the second day.
Yeah. They'd be like, sorry, we got to ask you to come back one more day.
Well, you know what happens sometimes? Like, so I was in, I have had jury duty like 4 times, which statistically should not be possible. And I got it again, by the way. I just didn't show up because I was busy.
I had it twice and.
But like Jamie is the first time she's gotten it. I'm like, how's this even possible? I shouldn't have gotten this many times.
I talked to people. It was like, yeah, I've never got it in 30-something fucking
what
years.
The fuck,
like, what
dude? Why am I getting it?
Who the fuck picks? What is this lottery that they fucking? How do you pick me?
If this is the lot, what, dude? I can't win shit to save my life. I haven't won a raffle in my life, but I win the jury duty raffle regularly.
Is there an age where you don't have to do jury duty anymore?
No, but there's an age you shouldn't do jury duty anymore, which is probably like
but do I still gotta go? I can't just be like, I'm 85, I'm not doing it.
I think you shouldn't be able to do jury duty till like 30.
What if you got cancer? Can I just
60,
be like, I got cancer, I'm not doing it?
No, you have to either work for the state, you have to, what is it? You be a cop. That's one. There's very, very specific requirements to not get in there, but you could be a, big old racist. I remember I was at jury duty. This lady wasn't a racist, but she was so mad.
Well, they know that whole. Because everybody tells them if you go in there, right, and it's a Mexican dude, be like, I hate Mexican people, and that's going to get you off jury duty.
Yeah,
but they even call people out on that shit.
Well, no. So I had people who the judge would ask. They go through like, can you juror number this? While I was sitting in the courtroom waiting to get onto the juror seats just to be asked the questions on whether I could be in the jury or not. Yeah. So I haven't even made it in the seats, but at least I'm in the room. So I'm part of the bunch, and we're waiting, and they fill the juror's box with the first 12, right? 12 people. And they're going through, and they ask the one lady, can you act impartially without bias? She's like, no. And the judge looks at her, it's like, why not? I can't. I know he did it. And he's like, why would you say that? And so I knew what was happening immediately. First off, this bitch just wanted to get out of it. Okay, she started shaking, like clearly very uncomfortable because the entire attention's on her. The judge,
because that's her moment, bro. She's up there doing it. She's like, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna fucking say this, and she's telling her friends that. Yeah. And then she gets up there and she's like,
was fucking scared, dude.
And I just thinking, because she doesn't even believe what she's saying.
The judge had her come down in front of his bench, and then he took her in the back room. And I'm assuming he just... I knew that he was going to obviously...
railed her.
Yeah. Yeah, you knew he was going to let her go, but he was going to make sure she felt like an asshole and just totally failing her public duty and really probably made her feel horrible. Good. Because like a lot of people here don't want to be here. And then there was one lady, she's like, I can't do it because I can't handle blood. And the judge is like, well, we don't even know what we're going to see or whether it's going to... She's like, you can't even hear... the word blood, you can't even hear it. She said, no, it makes me sick and I'll pass out. I like Disney, is what she said. And I was like, fuck you, man. I'm like, look, no one wants to be here.
It sounds like some stupid she's bullshit.
Like, I can't even hear about violence because I love Disney, is what she said. I remember that. I'll remember that forever. I was like, what a weirdo.
It's just amazing, just the stupid shit people say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, that's why we probably shouldn't even be
I wanted to get on the jury, dude. Well, I wanted to get on the jury when I did a
Why?
job.
Don't be that guy.
No, because I worked for AT&T at the time, and so they would have paid.
Oh yeah, because we get paid for the whole day.
You could be on a freaking 2-month murder trial, 6-month murder trial.
That's true.
You get paid the entire time.
And you get paid the entire. Yeah.
I made it on the jury, or I was in the juror's box. I made it in the juror's box one time, and they asked me my questions, and then they. Chit-chatted, and they're saying...
You're like, I hope I get my questions right!
And then they're like, juror number me, you are dismissed. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? I had long hair at the time.
You felt rejected.
I did!
You just sit there.
My guess, I think that was a drunk driving case. That was a drunk driving case, so maybe the prosecutor thought that I'd be, like, sympathetic because I have long hair and I'm clearly an alcoholic. I don't know.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah. And then there was one... I didn't get in the juror's box, but the dude it was attempted murder, or it was an assault with a crowbar, and the entire time, so he's in there while this is going on, right?
Yeah.
What do you call him? Just the person being accused.
The defendant?
The defendant. So the entire time he's like, and spitting and drooling all over the table that he's at. And I'm like, buddy, you're not doing yourself any favors. And so, like, everybody here, how are you gonna, not remember that?
Yeah.
Eventually, they had to like get him out of the courtroom. Like, unfortunately, Mr. Whatever won't be able to be.
He's
with us
just
for
coughing too much, and it's all kind of grossing us out.
Big
So
ass scene. I'm like, why just plead guilty, dude? What a waste of everyone's time. Like, not that he was, but like he's just, when you're giving
is he
everyone
guilty?
that impression.
I don't know, but he's guilty of being a piece of shit.
He's weird. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So I don't want. I as long as I am a self-employed person, I have no interest in being on a jury.
Yeah.
If I get to the point where I have a job which I don't see happening in a very long time, I don't ever want to be on a jury till that point. Just my thought. Do your public service and go to jury duty, even though I totally didn't go last time because I think it's unfair because I've been 5 times.
Jury duty sucks.
Yeah, and you know what? You'll get you get paid, guys. All right, you'll get paid. You'll get for your day's time, your 8 hours, not including drive time. You'll get like $22 mailed to you a month later.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I
So
forgot you got paid. And I think when you get that
It's
check,
like $3. I think it must be like the federal minimum wage, which was like
because it's like a day. No, you get paid by the day too. I think, right?
Yeah, like 20 something bucks for the $30 for the day, something
Is
like
it
that.
even that?
I think it's honestly it may not be that much.
Yeah, I think it's like.
I think
don't
I
know why
got
I'm thinking
$38
it's
for
like
2
$10
days
or some shit.
Yeah, I got paid nothing. I think they give you gas money.
Yeah,
which right now should be like $112 for me to drive to the freaking.
dude, like I said, in the same town, it took me an hour to get here today.
Yeah.
There's too many fucking people here.
Well, yeah, and they're building 20,000 homes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dottie just put on a little sweatshirt. Look at you! Look at you!
That's everybody. That's Dottie Yachty.
It's
She's my buddy's dog that I'm puppy sitting right now, and just walked in with a little white sweater on, and it was the cutest. Anyways, dogs and sweaters. Fuck jury duty.
Dude,
dogs and sweaters now.
We got Jamie has bought a couple like Christmas outfits for Skipper, and they're basically just like onesies, but we tried doing the onesie, they don't like that. When everything's covered up, the legs, the ass crack, the everything.
Yeah.
So we can do it if it's just the vest. But it's so funny, you touch a dog when they got a little vest on, it's like a baby. Because like you can't feel any of there's no hair. So you just feel like a little body.
Yeah, because it kind of anthropomorphizes it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big word.
It's a little anthropomorphism.
So it's precious when Skipper wears his little outfits because he's like as I talked in the last podcast, he really is a baby.
Yeah, I remember with like Cleveland. Like in Cleveland, I remember we had this like little bubble vest for him, and he's so cute because you walk in it and he'd make a little sound. He's like, flick, 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 flick. Loved it.
Yeah.
Puppies and sweaters, bro. Mm-hmm. Honestly, in my older age, I mean, that's all. That's what I want to watch on TV. I just want to see cute puppy videos. That's it. I'm sick of all the dramas. I just want to see just cute puppies.
Yeah, I don't want to. You know what? That's not true. I'm one of, I think, a dozen people left in this world on Snapchat, and they have Snapchat stories, and one of them is like this animal one where they just go through it's like 10 minutes of just really funny, cute animal videos, typically funny.
Yeah.
And it just makes me every time I
Makes
smile
you
and laugh.
a happier person.
Every time.
Why are we sitting there and torturing ourselves with all these just like shitty fucking dramas on fucking TV? But you know what? Every show is just bumming me the fuck out.
You know what's funny? Again, that for me is like it's non-political, it's impartial, it's just pleasantness. Mm-hmm. It crosses all boundaries. It's kind of like sports, other than being a fan of a team. Like no political thing connected. It should just be sports. But we're not going to talk about sports. But it's funny. So like on my iPhone, right? And you have yours. I don't know if you have news stories on your work iPhone. But like if you scroll all the way to the left.
Oh, well, today, what was it? There was a school shooting today.
School shooting.
That was top of the headlines.
Yeah. Actually,
Michigan.
that just popped up not that long ago for me. So I don't know if they
just happened today.
Shut down. But like, I swear to God, is Fox on here right now? No, all right, yeah, they do. So every time I scroll to the left, they got it all. They got People, Fox, BuzzFeed, People, Washington Post, New York Times. Everything pops up, but it's so funny. For some reason, every time I don't read who it's from because it's very, very tiny who the article is from. It's just the headlines, and I read through the headlines. I know it's a Fox headline instantly. So I don't even know who this is. I'm just gonna look it up. Billie Eilish says tons of people hate her now, but she feels less pressure than before. Oh, that's not interesting. But no, but
what the fuck is that?
No. But there's
This just it.
no. Every time I scroll, it's always something about race, and it's so funny because like everything's always about like the liberals always pushing the race, which I think that they do, like the identity politics. But like Fox, it does the same thing, but it's always like look at the white person being negatively portrayed. They're not, and I'm like, why does it even have to be about that? And maybe they don't even say white person, but they'll pick like, a white person and they'll talk about a scenario where, they thought that they were clearly not being racist or they were doing the right thing or the narrative is that they're racist, but let me tell you why they're fantastic. And it's always Fox. They'll show something. It's like, like the guy who basically massacred all those people in Wisconsin in the car, which is true. Like there was a story and then nobody was talking about the details of it. Just that there was a car who hit people. It's like, how about it was like a mass murder? A dude, that dude had like tried to murder someone in a car the week prior and then got out on bail. Bitchy ass bail. This is a fucker. He's like sexually molested minors. Yeah. He's a horrible dog shit person. Yeah. And nothing about the race should even matter. It's just a shitty person. But then Fox's whole headline was basically wanting to prioritize about how the fact that it wasn't mentioned his identity, the fact that he wasn't white is what they're saying. Because he isn't white, they didn't want to talk about it. And you know what? Maybe that's true. I don't know.
Well, it is like that. And the thing is I think it's a lot of times when I see Fox, it's just that pushback towards, honestly, I mean, what's being kind of everything we're seeing now is I think, a lot of white people are getting smacked of reality, of things that have happened in the past. And now they're trying to cover it up by banning critical race theory, which is just history, Yeah. And, and then you hear just like those type of things. And it just kind of bothers me because it's just... The only reason they're doing it is because. Yeah. And I think it also happens on the other side too is, Amazon's got the black box and, for the Black Lives Matter thing. Yeah. And it just, all that's just kind of like bullshit because it is kind of like, it's popularized or how do you say that? Popularized? Sure. And so there's bullshit. There's people are spinning the narrative to make it, centered around the race of somebody when it doesn't really factor in.
No, dude.
I mean, but mainly like when I see it, like for instance, it's like that guy that killed all the people in the church and then they took the motherfucker to like Burger King or something like that. And then you see the kind of like the black kid or anything, that stole like a candy bar and then gets the shit beat out of him. That kind of difference, which I think that's a reality of it. Yeah. But then you'll see, Fox News coming out and just like in the support of Kyle Rittenhouse saying like he should be like some type of fucking
that's
awarded a medal or something.
I'm like that was a story to me that I'm like was never should have been about race, but it was made about race for some reason by both sides. And I'm like it
is about race.
I disagree.
The only reason that kid is fucking walking and gets nothing, 0 charges, is because of race.
No, it's not.
It's because he's a white kid. It's the way people look at little white boys like him.
No.
Yes, it is.
Did you look at any details around the case?
The only reason he got nothing and got charged was nothing because if it was a little brown kid, you think the same thing would happen?
Yes, it did happen. No. It has happened, yes. If you looked at the details of the case, it has nothing to do with his race. He shouldn't have been there, but he broke no crimes.
The whole thing was centered around race.
No, event itself, why he was there.
Yeah,
sure there was. And a he's protest.
He's a little white kid that his parents bring him down there with an AK-47. And what do you don't think any of that has to do with race? And you don't think the fact that he got off scot-free has anything to do with race?
No. No, did you look at any details of the case? What gives you the impression?
You're just
not looking at it purely from
just,
he got out.
Basically, it's the same kind of like repetitive thing where this kind of like how people kind of view like white youth to like brown and black youth, and in the way people feel about them, and this is a great example because somebody, if it was a little brown kid or black kid in a different scenario, he would have got fucking raked through the coals.
No, he would not have.
Yes, he would have.
No, he would not have. Dude, first off, if you look at the details of the case, there's no possible way. What would you have even been able to charge him with? Like, what would you, if you actually look at the details of the case, he was there, like, regardless of why he initially was there. From the time in which he was engaged by people, attacked, and then shot, it was so blatantly clear through video that he was literally chased. People were threatening to shoot him. The guy who initially shot, like, he must have been trying to commit suicide because he was running around before he had even ran into Rittenhouse. Yeah. Running around wanting to shoot someone. Like, he had a gun with them. He was saying, kill me, kill me. And then he saw him, ran after him, saying, I'm going to kill you. And then he got shot. And then the other two guys who were running after him hit him, took him down, and then they got shot. So the first two guys died, and the last guy died, or got his arm blown off. They're all white dudes, right? And because they were chasing him, there's like a shitload of video footage of it. And it wasn't because he was engaging with people. He was walking around. Again, whatever his motives were for being there, maybe he was looking for trouble, right? Maybe he was looking for trouble. But regardless of whether he was looking for trouble, like there was a lot of other videos. You saw it in L.A., or maybe not. It was in L.A. Where it was. I think it was Minnesota initially, where you'd have guys standing outside convenience stores with guns. Like, it was legal. Technically, what he was doing wasn't illegal. He was legally allowed to carry the gun.
When it really comes to that, and look, and I get that, it's like, okay, whether somebody lunged at the gun or anything like that, but I really think if it was anybody else, and just being somebody that's been on probation and been to jail, that if you go somewhere to a gun or go to this protest or whatever it is that you're going to with a gun and you kill somebody, there needs to be some type of repercussion. I don't care.
You're coming from
there should be responsibility taken by the parents or whatever. But the reason I'm calling it a race thing is because it's part of it is the kind of like the consciousness around it in the country, the way people view it, and I think him basically being getting nothing. Just being let go.
Yeah, but all right. Again,
if this is
California, it would have been very different. It depends on the state. If you're every state's different, right? So if you're legally allowed, if he's legally allowed to walk around with a gun, he's allowed to do this. Yeah. Right? So he's currently committing no crimes. Whether he is putting himself in a position, which I think he was, putting himself in a position where he's kind of, even let's just say he said he was looking to help people, and maybe he was, But regardless, you're putting yourself in a very place of heightened emotion with a gun. Yeah. There's going to be a good chance of something shitty going down. But standing somewhere, and it's almost like if I was to stand on Skid Row with a baseball bat, just standing there, just knowing that there's a good chance someone's going to do something and maybe I can claim self-defense. Okay?
Because to me, I mean, like, if you got a gun in your pocket and you're on Skid Row and you're just going, the first person that fucks with me, I'm going to kill him.
It would have to be very...
Does that not make you a killer?
I'm not saying it doesn't, but if you literally don't do anything until someone runs up and punches you in the face, it's like, I'm going to kill you, and then you kill him, even if like you're setting yourself up for this opportunity, let's say, legally, you didn't commit a crime. Like if someone, again, he wasn't committing a crime by having it there, they attacked him, and so he killed them. Yeah. And let's just say that was the perfect scenario for him. He's like, I got to shoot people. Again, they were 3 white guys. Sure. So again, I don't see how there's necessarily racial. I think for you're coming at racial is like, that's the same thing, someone else told me. It's like, well, if it was a black guy. So I'm like, all right, so because of injustices, we should take a person who, let's just say legally, they committed no crime, but just for the justification.
No, I'm not saying that should influence the verdict. I'm not saying that should influence the verdict. I'm just saying it is an example of what we kind of see played out. Like I said, the guy that, killed all those people in the black church, and then they take him to like fucking Burger King.
I don't know what that was. That was
compared to what you see in other places. Or if you say replace January 6th with Black Lives Matter protests, what would you see in that? You would see a complete different reaction.
Yeah, probably. Well, it depends on where you were too.
No,
I agree, but it also depends on where you were. There were cities in this country that did nothing. Literally would do nothing during the protests, and some that went super militarized. So it still depends on where you're at. You know?
I mean, things are different, but things kind of you see things that are kind of like trending. And I'm just saying that treatment of somebody like that, Kyle Rittenhouse, and I agree with you that I think people have very kind of like played into it's hard to isolate that incident with him and exclude everything that was around it, right?
Well, and I think it's unfair to...
I do think it's another example of that, and that kind of like that stark difference in how we treat people. And me personally, I feel like there should be some type of punishment, even if those people were trying to get that gun or do whatever. I think there should be at least for the parents to drive your fucking dumbass little son with a loaded weapon.
But then you got to change the law. You can't retroactively put a punishment on someone if everything that's happened is legal.
Because this is me in my hypothetical, dream world. Okay. I'm just saying. I personally think
and then
that.
they should change the law because I agree because that's outrageous. It is outrageous. I completely agree. But I also think that like one of the cheapest ways of like creating an argument.
But I don't think it should be his decision to take somebody's life because that person is either lunging for this or it's his decision to make whether this person is gonna. Are they trying to kill me? Are they trying to just push me? Are they trying me to just put my gun down?
They're definitely trying to.
What are they trying to do? But at the end of the day, that was his decision to make. And I don't think it should have been his decision to make.
Well, whose decision is it? Yours?
No. Neither of us. Because I don't think people should be fucking going to these protests with loaded AK-47s and tagging people and like getting just all wrapped up in it.
No, I agree. I don't think that
he was what, 16, 17? It's just, to me, it's just like, I don't want to get all just kind of like caught up in like just the bullshit kind of like semantics of it. But just to me, just looking at it from a human perspective, there's just so many things that are fucked up about that. And like I said, he's a dumbass fucking kid. But I mean, at the end of the day, who are we blaming when his parents drove him there?
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I get it. I do think that the creating him
shitty people start at home
as a hero is outrageous, But then again, I'm also because I don't know this person, right? I don't know anything about him. You hear some stories saying, that he was there running around with a little medical aid kit, wanting to help people, and then asking, "Do you need help? Do you need help? Do you need friendlies?" But then there was also, I do think that was probably true. But then there's also videos of him saying how he wants, like months prior, how he wanted to go to these riots, and he would shoot if he needed to like protect businesses. So like. Let's just say that he was he's a kid, so he's an idiot.
Doesn't matter.
Right off the bat.
Doesn't matter how he was an idiot?
No, I'm just saying he is. He's a kid, he's an idiot. So let's just say he wants to do all of the things. Yeah. He wants to put himself in a position. He believes that he's going to protect businesses, but is oblivious or ignorant to the fact that clearly all that's going to do is make the situation worse.
And honestly, that kind of goes to the point. It's like everybody's living in a fucking action movie these days.
No,
I don't know how people like. It's like, if this would happen, this is what I would do. I'd backflip over that guy, and then I'd shoot that guy in the head.
Yeah,
and then I'd backflip over this guy.
But I'm just like, all 4 people involved, were idiots. The kid was an idiot, the Rittenhouse kid. But the other 3 were fucking idiots. 2 of them had guns. They were chasing them, saying I'm gonna kill you. Trying, one of them. I don't know if one of them had been. The first one who died was shooting his gun off earlier. So like. Bunch of dumb motherfuckers.
I mean, at the end of the day, you go out playing with guns against other people playing with guns.
Yeah,
and somebody gets fucking shot.
that's why I'm like, but my whole thing is again is I'm like, I didn't understand how any of this was racial. But I get where you're coming from, saying that you don't think that if a black person was in this situation, they would have had the benefit of the doubt, and maybe not. I know that there was a story. It was before this case. It was like 2 months before this case, and it had happened back during the protests / riots, and it was a black dude who was having rubber bullets shot at him from the cops, and he with a gun shot back at the cops. He got acquitted on self-defense because it was deemed that he was literally trying to protect himself. He thought he was going to die because clearly the cops...
He's getting shot at.
Well, the one who knew, he probably didn't even know it was a rubber bullet. He thought it was being shot at. And so he was he got acquitted. And so I understand that there's like a horrible history of it, and I think depending on where you are,
it's not a horrible. I mean, it's not a horrible history because that stuff's happening to this day, and it's constant. And that is the rare case, maybe the one thing you're bringing up where the guy shot back and got acquitted.
It just happens to be another self-defense case.
I mean, most of the time we're seeing
the story,
like the guy, jogging in fucking Georgia, and those three
those guys are in jail.
They almost got away with it until a fucking video was presented.
No, it's true.
And those guys got put into jail.
Well, it's because he knew the cops, he knew the DA.
I mean, everybody's seen. If anybody's watched TV,
of course,
you're constantly reminded by it because I mean that is the constant reality.
But there has to be,
and I think it is people that aren't like, say, part of those communities. They just don't believe it's that bad, or people like to apply their own kind of living conditions and ways to other people, and I think that's people's kind of flaw. Because I think people don't believe things are that bad, but they really are that bad. And they're probably even worse than what we know.
I think it depends on where you're. Honestly, I think it depends on where you live too. I mean, I think that was the big thing with the Arbery case is that people were like, "Oh man, being in the South, is what's going to happen?" And then obviously they murder. They got them all for murder. So I mean, and they had like a not impossible case, like the self defense, or it wasn't the self defense. It was the like the ability to citizens arrest thing, and they changed. That was this thing kind of like we were talking about, where they like under the citizens arrest thing, there was like a slight argument for him, which was bullshit. But they changed the law basically immediately before the trial even started. Yeah. So they were like, "Well, we can't even follow."
It's like the shit with Zimmerman. I mean, he called the cops. Hey man, I'm following this guy. But I mean, see, that's the problem. I mean, that's racism. It's unconscious bias that people have towards people. And these are the same people that be like, I'm not racist. It's like, I'm fucking...
There has to be, but what I'm saying is like, you're coming at that as, obviously you're very cynical, and your assumption is, he got off because he's white.
Am I obviously very cynical?
You're very obviously cynical. And I think this is where you and I butt heads a lot with this kind of stuff, is like, I tried it, and maybe that's not how a lot of people are. Maybe they're, in these, maybe I'm a little naive, but I'm like, not that I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I like to have hope in the system and believe that it could get better. That over these past couple years, there's an eyeball on it.
Your solution is like, we're just going to sit and wait, and eventually it'll get better.
No, I'm saying what's happened is it's all these kind of things. The more situations, unfortunately, that's what has to happen, is that these cases have to come up. Like what happened to Arbery, where they almost... Well, basically, it wasn't that they almost got off, is that they were just going to accept that it was a failed citizen's arrest, and then, like, another district attorney, and then another district attorney, and then, like, it was crazy, or maybe it was, like, 3 prosecutors went through of bias and all these things. So, yeah, no, it's real, but what ends up happening is these stories, unfortunately, that we have to use that, almost like learning the hard way, where it gives the country, gives everyone, like, a look in, you're like, oh, shit, okay. And, you're not going to change the guy who's, like, super racist. It is what it is. But these situations, these stories give people the opportunity to witness what exists, and then to maybe to force themselves to be more conscious of it, and then to be better when that situation arises. Maybe they have a little twinge of, like, an initial...
But people usually twist things just to fit whatever their narrative is.
I think that does happen, but, again, I like to think that enough people will be shifted from this, or at least be willing to actively look at their own, whether it's their biases or whatever, and kind of address them and be aware and be introspective, that there could be a little bit of a change.
I think so. Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like with the Rittenhouse thing. Like,
I think it's more impressionable on young people.
Which is the future. I mean,
because they're looking at all this like data with just like untinged fucking mind, you know, whereas all us jaded old people think we have it all figured out.
Yeah.
You know, we have all these, you know, kind of like biases and everything that we've kind of like, you know, gathered through our lifetime.
Of course. And so that's why I'm like, I like to believe that the change isn't here, but it's happening and it's possible. So,
well, yeah, I think we're currently in it, but something like that, if you really want to see how far we haven't come, if we're watching All in the Family, you know, very, very political of the time, you know, talk about Nixon and things like that, you know, they talk about, you know, culture and just, you know, the civil rights movement and all that. And all the topics they talk about are the exact same things. I mean, that comedy from back in the 70s works perfect. Just insert into today.
Yeah.
Works perfectly. Except for Archie Bunker, they would never let him say, you know, the words he says on the show.
Yeah, but there's no way you say that the 70s and today is the same. There's been no progress.
The show is fucking absolutely hilarious. But I found it funny, just like they're the same thing that was like in the zeitgeist back in the 70s is the same shit we're talking about.
Yo, no, I think that'll be a thing forever. I don't think it's going to go away. I think that it's probably just less so.
Less so.
You know?
I mean,
maybe one day it'll be,
but that's why
more or less so.
That's why people should educate themselves on these things, and people should experience different cultures, because ultimately that's what's gonna, you know, is gonna make you a more enlightened person. Because the more shit you experience, the more different people you meet, then your expectations of people,
of course,
come down. And you don't hold everybody in the same regard. Like, everybody should be doing things the way you do things.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks that they do things right.
Agree.
You know, everybody wipes their ass the right way.
But I also think that whenever it comes to something, let's just say someone who's being arrested or, you know, any sort of court case, you don't want to compare it to, well, if it was this, it would have gone this way. Because first off, it's a non-starter conversationally. Because there's nothing for me to say. I'd be like, maybe. You're just setting up a super hypothetical for me to go. I can't go off of that because there's nothing to feed other than that. That's just what you think, and that's it. So everything needs to be judged on a case by case basis, and it's just like, was this right? Yes, no, okay. And then if a black person was the same situation, you got to judge that appropriately as well. You know, on its own. Hi, Chantel. Chantel's in here. Chantel, say hi.
Hi.
25 people just heard you say hi, so, you know.
You're a bit of a celebrity. Don't know if you know this. 25. It's more like...
No, there's more than that. Did we get 13. Like 50 on the last one? Mm-hmm. You guys know your TV's still on, right? Nope.
Not no mo.
Not no mo.
Not no mo. Yeah, so anyways, long story short, it is everybody, you know, as you grow, you think you're desperately trying to get a grasp on reality and trying to make sense of everything. And then that sense of everything kind of hardens and casts it into this thing where you just think you know
That's why
things.
You always gotta be moving.
And here's the thing, you don't know shit about shit.
You know what we are?
Just as long as you remember that, you're good.
You know, that's why we're like resin. I only know this because Jamie's making resin art. Mm-hmm. Resin, as long as you stir that shit, it doesn't become hard. As long as you keep moving,
bro,
you don't get hard. But as soon as you stop moving, you stop learning, and you stop discovering new things, you get hard as shit. And that's it, motherfucker.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, we resin, bitch.
We resin, bro. Gotta keep stirring that shit. Keep stirring that shit.
We could probably take that farther, but I don't really feel like it.
No.
I don't really feel like it. I had 4 Wendy's sandwiches. That's why I had that explosive poopy came out of me earlier.
Wait, you pooped?
Yeah.
When you were in the middle of the podcast?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I didn't let it... Only enough came out to relieve the stomach pressure.
You were in there for like 30 seconds.
And I washed my hands. Yeah.
Not that well.
Probably not, but I made sure I used your towel.
You're over there.
Some poopy fingers on
you're
your
over there
towels.
touching everything with your poopy fingers, man.
Yeah, but I did make sure to close the lid before I flushed.
See, that's why I don't need a black light in here, dude.
You don't want to do that.
Just your face is just
no.
just
I
like
guarantee you,
glowing.
your computer screen and your keyboard would be covered from boogers and all types of weird shit.
all kinds of fluid, all the fluids.
Yeah, no. If those keys would be sticking if you were jerking off at this computer. And who jerks off? Who looks at porn on a laptop?
Fucking keys. Yeah, nobody's jerking off on a desktop anymore.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
And if you're still jerking off on your desktop computer, just
Yeah.
drop us a line.
Guys, do you want a virus? My dad spent a considerable amount of time at Geek Squad as we grew up taking our computers to them because we got porn viruses.
Yeah. Do you want viruses, bro?
Yeah. I can't imagine what the Geek Squad dudes thought of my dad when he brought in our desktop. Because
So the problem is you keep masturbating on the computer. We recommend maybe you masturbate away from the
dude,
computer.
when I was a kid and I'd be looking up,
Do they sell Kleenex at fucking Best Buy?
they should. Geek Squad should be handing that shit out with their desktops, dude.
Have some fucking euphemism
Yes,
for cum
dude.
wipes.
I honestly, I remember every whenever I was 13 or 12 and I'd be looking up nude celebrities. That's always what I would do.
That was the go-to nude celebrities.
Yeah, because it would just be like people I knew who I thought were pretty, and it'd be like, download this clip to see. I'm like, download to see her
baby!
naked. And
Free? It says free.
Yeah, dude. Anytime it said download to see a picture of this celebrity, I always downloaded it. I had so many viruses.
All these windows start popping up.
Oh, dude, so bad. I remember the first time. No, it wasn't the first. What's the first? Should we end with the first time we masturbated?
Okay.
All right. What's the first time you masturbated?
So I'll do you one better.
Okay.
So I'll say the first time I had a sexual feeling
Okay.
that I can remember, and the first time I think I masturbated. So the first time I had a sexual feeling, I was laying on the floor on my stomach.
Okay.
Okay, my pee-pee was like on the floor, because I'm laying on the floor, and I was watching Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And like Rick Moranis' like girlfriend.
You watch Ghostbusters 2?
Is it the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Moranis' like girlfriend.
Yeah, she's the front desk lady.
Yes, just something about her, man, just got me
Really?
going. And I remember feeling that feeling
Yeah.
that we all know and love. And then first masturbation was I was watching Howard Stern, and it was I don't know if they had like Jenna Jameson or something on there, like doing whatever.
Yeah.
And and it was it was watching the show. I think it was like on E or something, whatever they had played Howard Stern on. And it was kind of like her tits were blurred out.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first time
Really?
I can remember jerking off.
Did
Yeah.
you do it right in the living room?
No, I had a TV in my room.
Oh, in your room. Okay. Did you do it in a sock?
That's a good question. I don't know what it did.
Really? Maybe you just launched it wherever, thinking it was like water. You just pick it up with a napkin.
Just rub it in and be like, it's clean.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
I had like been looking at, dude. I was looking at nudie pics, like for probably a couple years before I knew
Tangible
what jerking
pic
off was.
or like a
No, like online.
Oh, you were enjoying it before you even.
Before I even knew, I just knew I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to do about it. I just looked at it and got real hot and sweaty.
You didn't sweat, man.
I do when I'm looking at porn at 12.
Oh, whip out those pictures,
Dude, I remember the only computer in the house is my parents' bedroom, right next to their bed. If I was looking at the computer screen, out of my left eye, I could see their door because their door would open up there.
Yeah.
And I remember I was looking up nude pics, and I was just obviously lost in time, basically, because time does not exist when you're looking at nudies.
Yeah.
And then I remember the door opening up. My mom came in, and I X'd out. She's like, "What have you been doing?" I'm like, "Running. I've been running," because I'm bright red and sweaty, sitting at the computer.
At least you had to be like, the only way that I could make her believe that I'm this sweaty is that I was running.
And then sitting instantly. And I
was running and now I'm sitting. And that's all I know.
And then first time I was watching Girls Gone Wild commercials. Just the commercials.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
the Girls
blurred.
Gone White.
Yeah.
Dude. Yep. That was
That was a good one. And
That was good
I'm like
ones.
lying down on like the hardwood floor of my parents' house, like on the one, we had a 1-story house, and then where the TV was, it was a long hallway. So if I laid down there, I could look all the way down the hallway to where their bedroom was, so I could see if they came out. So I was lying on the ground, and I was like, I had a big boner, but I didn't know what to do with it. Right? I just didn't even know what jerking off was. And so I'm like, I wonder what a vagina looks like. So I made my hands into what I think a vagina looked like. I'm like, I wonder what you. So I started kind of boning my hands. And then I was like, oh, I gotta pee. So I jump up and I run to the bathroom and I try and pee and nothing would come out. I'm like, what the hell? So I go back and I watch it again. I get boner. I start, humping my hands again. I'm like, I gotta pee. I get up, run, and I still couldn't pee. I'm like, what is happening?
Isn't it? Yeah.
And so it wasn't till the next day I'm at school. I'm in like junior high or something. And all day long, I'm like, I need to know. So when I got home, I went to make myself pee again. And I was like, and my world was forever changed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, infinitely better.
Oh yeah, way better than peeing. Peeing's cool too, but
Yeah. You thought, when you were growing up, you're, man, this peeing thing's awesome. And then all the older kids are talking about this shit, like, it gets better.
yeah.
It gets way better.
Wait till the white stuff.
It's a little bit thicker, easier to hide, doesn't smell as bad. All right, I think we leave it at that. We done, bitch.
Love ya.
Love you, bye.